How can you start making money as a Pinterest virtual assistant and then eventually even as a Pinterest expert? How can you provide Pinterest marketing services and help business owners, help different brands to grow on Pinterest? If you're watching this video, you probably want to know exactly how can you dive right in the world of Pinterest virtual assistants or even Pinterest marketing and help clients and make money not by growing your own brand on Pinterest, but helping other brands to grow with Pinterest. Today in this video, we're going to be having an open, honest chat conversation about getting into the world of Pinterest as a virtual assistant or even as, a Pinterest marketer. But first, if you don't know yet, my name is Tereza Toledo. I'm a Pinterest marketing expert. I've been working with Pinterest for the past 7 years, helping business owners pretty much grow on Pinterest, sell more, build their website traffic through Pinterest organic marketing. Now, you can learn all about me. You can learn more about Pinterest marketing right below here. Check it out. I also have a free guide there for you. Now, make sure you like this video and you subscribe so more people can learn about this. Before I dive right in, I did pretty much start as a Pinterest virtual assistant. Actually, if you noticed, I don't call myself Pinterest VA. I don't have the words virtual assistant or VA on my business. I usually use the words Pinterest marketing expert, Pinterest marketing strategist. Actually, as a Pinterest marketer, I do offer the strategy part, but I also offer, pretty much the virtual assistance part of Pinterest. The reason why I chose not to call me a VA, because I decided that for me, the best was to specialize, to go deep, and to offer more. But becoming a Pinterest virtual assistant nowadays, it's a great way to build an income, to work from home, to start your own business. After all, a lot of business owners, a lot of creators, a lot of brands need help with Pinterest. Even though some small businesses can start kind of doing the work by themselves, or some bigger businesses can get their social media person or their employees to do their Pinterest, honestly, not all of them are doing a good job. And nowadays, it is very convenient for many business owners, for many corporations to hire someone who knows the ins and outs of Pinterest and can help them. So what is a Pinterest VA? A virtual assistant is someone who helps business owners remotely. They can help with different tasks such as email marketing, social media, Pinterest. There are different tasks that can be done remotely using their own computers that you can get paid hourly. That's another thing. When you are a virtual assistant, Pinterest virtual assistant, or a pretty much generic virtual assistant, most people end up charging per hour. So pretty much you at home, right? You time the hours that you work for each and every business, you count those hours and you charge in the end of the week or in the end of the month. Now, a Pinterest virtual assistant pretty much is a person that will help business owners to create their Pinterest account, to optimize their profile, to research their keywords, to create the pin, the graphics, to repurpose the video content, to schedule all the pins, and to check the analytics for that Pinterest account. Now, when in my case, I ended up becoming a Pinterest marketing expert because aside from those tasks, I also offer the strategy part, the deep dive, the deep research, competitor research, market research, and everything that goes around a well-structured Pinterest marketing strategy. After all, even though it is Pinterest services, right? Those are Pinterest services, but there is more that we can serve our clients aside aside from just the Pinterest part. But it's totally fine to begin as a Pinterest VA. I began as a Pinterest VA. Actually, I learned how to do a lot of the Pinterest tasks on my own, but I also took a few courses in the beginning that helped me understand better and know what I needed to be doing. Now, how much can you make as a Pinterest virtual assistant? It depends. In the United States, we will see people charging anywhere from $15, $20, $25, $30 an hour per Pinterest services. Now, those people already know how Pinterest works. They know how to create graphics. They know how to write Pinterest titles, descriptions, how to do all of the tasks that I mentioned before that are necessary for a good Pinterest pinning strategy. Myself, as a Pinterest expert, I do not charge per hour. I charge per monthly retainer. I know already how much time and effort it will take for me to execute the tasks that I'm proposing myself to do the research, to understand, to put everything together. I know already, but I also know that it's not necessary for me to be counting the hours, because in the end of the day, I am offering a full retainer service. So, that's another option, that as a VA, you can pretty much offer services as a retainer package. As a retainer package in the United States, depending on the volume of content that you're helping them create, depending on the volume of graphics or maybe even videos that you're creating and your level of expertise, you could be charging anywhere from $700, $800 all the way to $1,500, $2,000 a month. And that's without including Pinterest promoted pins. That's a different part, that's an add-on that you will be offering if you are interested in. Now, how can you start? How can you begin? Let's say you don't have much experience on Pinterest, you're just starting now, you're interested, you like the platform, you know that people need it, right? You know that some people are making money with it. The very first starting point is to learn how Pinterest works. Now, how can you do that? Pinterest does have a free Pinterest Academy. Pinterest has some content on the website regarding best practices, how to do things, how to create the account, how to create the pins. However, Pinterest does not teach us the ins and outs, the everyday tactics, the everyday strategies that we put together to achieve results. In this case, the best option is definitely to look for a Pinterest course that is updated. And in this case, it doesn't necessarily need to be a specific Pinterest VA course. A course about Pinterest, because aside from the fact that you need to know how to manage your tasks as a Pinterest VA, you need to know the platform well. So if you check below, I do offer a course that is helpful either for business owners who are interested in DIY their Pinterest, but it's also great for other people who are interested in providing Pinterest services. Why? Because it teaches all the ins and outs of the platforms, the type of pins, the pinning strategies, how you can pretty much make things happen. Then, of course, once you know how Pinterest works, and in the case you are already a virtual assistant, that could be a possibility, or you are a social media manager, you know the ins and outs of how to, maintain your clients, find your clients, have your SOPs, your systems. So pretty much you know exactly how to conduct yourself, how to treat your clients, how to make sure that the work happens properly the right way. There are different ways to pretty much do the work to organize your clients. This is something that depends on each person. Some people like to use systems that are a little more elaborate. Some people like to use Asana as project management tool. Some people like to use ClickUp. Personally, I like to keep it very simple and streamlined. So if you ask me how I manage and create most of my work, I use a lot of spreadsheets. I use a lot of Google Docs, right? A Google Drive is perfect to organize. And I also rely on Canva itself, which is the tool that most likely you are going to be using to create your pin graphic designs. Then the other question that I do see people asking a lot is, how can you find clients? How do you get started? So let's say you have not managed an account yet. At one point, I started with someone, I had my very first client. The very first account that I managed was as an internship, so I wasn't getting paid. However, it was a great experience. So it would be perfect if everyone could start this way, but we know that not many people are offering internships. In the past, I did offer internships, and this is how I ended up finding my fabulous assistant that helps me with my clients, Amber. She's just amazing, and because she was my intern. But it's not everyone who offers the opportunity of internship, so you can learn with hands-on. So the best way pretty much is, after you took a course, if you don't have anyone that you can work with, build your own account, practice on yourself. Maybe reach out to some friends, relatives, someone who could benefit of having their business on Pinterest, and practice with them. I'm not saying that you should work for free, but a lot of times it's okay to offer our services at a discounted rate, as long as we pretty much explain that, hey, I am going to be testing on you, I'm going to be trying, I'm going to be learning through your account. Then once you feel a little bit more confident, and you can go straight to this step also if you don't have clients yet, if you haven't worked specifically with anyone, if you're just like reaching out to people, I do like to find clients on Facebook groups. Actually, I don't go after people, but there are a lot of Facebook groups for entrepreneurs, for mom entrepreneurs, for women entrepreneurs, and there is always someone asking, for recommendations on Pinterest virtual assistant, Pinterest managers. That's another word that we can use for Pinterest virtual assistant, is a Pinterest manager, Pinterest account manager. Go ahead, drop your name in there, drop some value, share some interesting things, and people can find you that way. Now, a very important step here that I didn't mention before is that you don't need to have a website. You could have a website, but having a website is not the very first thing you should be focused on. I believe that you should put time and effort into learning, practicing, getting clients, and then you create your website. Instead of having a website, I would love to see you, and actually you really need to have that, a LinkedIn profile. You need to create a Facebook profile that aligns with your business. Totally fine if you want to use your personal Facebook profile. You don't have to create a Facebook business page only. Actually, if you see, I do use a personal Facebook profile and a Facebook business page. However, I make sure that my Facebook personal page does have everything about my business. I made the decision of turning my Facebook personal profile into pretty much my way for people to find me in the beginning. So I did a good cleanup. This is a little bit out of the scope of this video, but I think it's important to share with you. So I cleaned up my account, things that I really didn't want to share broadly with everyone related to my business. I pretty much cleaned all up. I added all of my business information and what my business was about to my Facebook personal page, and then I created my Facebook business page. So I had both. In this way, obviously, if you are gonna be looking for clients in Facebook groups, having your Facebook profile reflecting your business is very important. Otherwise, a lot of times people will see, you saying, hey, I'm interested in helping you, I'm interested in working with you, I offer Pinterest services, but then they go to see your personal profile and all they see is a picture of you and your dog, maybe you and your kid, without saying anything. So no, you have to have more. Also, go ahead, do that on Instagram, and as the first one that I've mentioned, LinkedIn. That's a very important one. Now, if you really want to solidify your social profiles as, the work that you want to be providing, start creating posts talking about Pinterest, sharing things about Pinterest, basic information about Pinterest. It doesn't have to be, tips that are so overly complicated in the beginning until you get, deeper into it. It's totally fine. Share some tips about Pinterest marketing. I know that you want people to hire you to do the Pinterest marketing for them, but trust me, most of the time, people who see our tips, who see us teaching, in the end of the day, they want to hire someone to do that. They soon realize that is too much work, that they are better off just hiring someone, hiring a Pinterest virtual assistant, a Pinterest manager, a Pinterest expert, than taking time away from their business to do it. Now, when it comes to the part that you have your clients, how you manage your clients, as I mentioned before, there are different ways to do your client management. There is no one size fits all or a very one specific way to manage your clients. As I mentioned before, I like a very simplified and straightforward way to deal with my clients, but there are a lot of other Pinterest managers that use systems such as ClickUp or Asana. Now, if you want to learn more about this part, I want you to comment below. This is the very first time that I created a video talking about how to make money with Pinterest as a Pinterest manager or as a Pinterest virtual assistant. So I am not sure if that's exactly what you're looking for, but if it is, I would love to come back here and teach you more of how I do it or other different ways that you can do it when it comes to client management. So go ahead, comment below, let me know your thoughts. And if you want to learn more about how to become a Pinterest VA, how to become a Pinterest manager, also comment below and I will be more than happy to come here and create other videos on this subject. And if you haven't done that yet, like this video, share, subscribe so you can learn more about Pinterest marketing.